And because it would not be very exciting to list my references at the end of this speech, I will quickly tell you some of them now. Nike, High School Musical, Prince. Yes, may he rest in peace. And a quote online stated, "The key to longevity is to know every aspect of music that you can." Let us strive for continuous improvement and relevancy in our respective industries by learning everything we can. I want to thank the Academy for putting us through an amazingly stimulating program, as it was up to us to put into our best in order to get the most out of it. And today, it's our day to reap what we sowed, with a master's degree that shows we are willing to take deeper steps into a topic and present our thesis with substantiated evidence to influence others to either agree with our results or to be intrigued with how we arrived at our conclusion. Thanks to the staff, the IT staff and library staff, as you helped us succeed here at the Academy. Margaret, Margot, Andrew, Marcos. For a guy who does not post on social media, having to learn how to remember to check the website and to post my ideas was a challenge. But after seeing how my grade was being impacted by the quality of weekly comments, or if we did not post a minimum number of comments, I was quickly motivated to type away. I can still remember how my first conversations with my cohort started. We were so glad to hear an actual voice that it was comical how our reaction to technology pushed us to comfort when we heard a live voice. Thanks to all our professors at the Academy, each of you connected with us in a different way. And we appreciate all that we learned from you. For me personally, I must thank Professor Stephen Krita for assigning a challenging group project using Blackboard Collaborate, as well as for actually posting weekly lecture videos. And Professor Lawrence Biannotti for connecting with each of us in your class individually and to prepare for our capstone, as well as being my capstone mentor. A wise man told me that as you succeed, remember to bring those you trust with you to share the triumph and the load. A wiser man told me to remember those who helped me along the way, as no one can achieve their goals without the right support. But an even wiser person told me that he knows others helped him to get where he is today without even knowing who helped him or where the help came from. You see, he arrived at that statement after helping others and not being able to announce his efforts to help a fellow colleague reach a goal or a milestone. So for those of you here today and elsewhere who helped us get to where we are today, we say thanks. Let us try to help others without looking to receive credit. Just do it. All we gotta do is believe. We're not gonna stop till we get our shot. That's for my son. Well, today is a great day, but tomorrow is Sunday. I think I can speak for my cohorts by saying that we look forward to a night without being on the computer, typing a paper, or finishing up a team project. And this part feels a bit weird, but I'm not sure yet if I will miss Moodle. If you don't know what Moodle is, well, it's the name of our student website portal where we posted weekly opinions on a variety of topics. Moodle was on our mind for 2 years, and now it's coming to an end. No, I don't think I'll miss Moodle. But I can say this. Na 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 na, na 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 na, hey Moodle, goodbye. But no thank you message can live up to the support we all felt by our rock, Miss Kathleen Arnold. better known as Kathy. Kathy, you have heard us celebrate, complain, laugh, cry, move to a different state, get married, care for our loved ones when illness set in, and get a new job, but you are always there. I know you're feeling a lot of happiness today to see us finally at this point. Your presence was steady, and we thank you. To our families and friends, thanks for sticking with us, for understanding when we were not fully there. When we were not fully there for you during these last 2 years. We know that all of you sacrificed something for us to celebrate this day, and you are part of the team. Thanks to my wife, Jana, and my son, Carl III. I see you. Love you. I know it was not easy, but you hung in there with me. To my fellow cohorts, I'm proud to say that we are the class of 2016, and I am humbled to speak today on your behalf. It was inspiring to work and collaborate with you, and I know some of the bonds formed will help our respective industries and our newest alma mater. Keep charging, as this commencement day is only the start of more to come. I hope I was bold enough. I hope I was brief enough, because now I'm gone. May God bless you all. May God bless the Academy. Go Keel Haulers. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes. Cadet Christine Edmiston, 1C cadet graduating summa cum laude with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Global Studies and Maritime Affairs, will now speak on behalf of the cadets, class of 2016. Cadet Edmiston, thank you for coming to the podium.
Sorry, I was really excited. Faculty, classmates, friends, and family, my name is Chrissy Edmiston, and you might know my older brother Brian went here last year. He was the Corps Commander. So this is the first time in Cal Maritime history that my name has been announced without Corps Commander's little sister in front of it. So I'm going to take full advantage of this moment. Welcome to commencement for the class of 2016. What makes California State University Maritime different from your average college? Well, first off, takes an hour to say, but second off, we are an extremely handsome bunch, if you haven't noticed. I mean, look at these guys. Second off, this isn't your average state university. You're looking at a graduating class who's going to be sailing across the globe, engineering in ports and facilities, working on the ships like you can see in our very own Carquinez Strait. You're looking at the cadets who are going to work in operations and logistics, driving the maritime industry that has brought us all here today. You're looking at our future service members, dedicating themselves to preserve the freedoms that we often take for granted. You're looking at the future leaders of our generation, and I can't think of a group more capable of handling the challenge. I'll never forget, and I'm sure many of you can't, when we first put on those khakis that summer before freshman year for the first time. And for the record, I have never felt more attractive than in my 1/4-inch black Bates boots. The perfect accentuation for the calves, yet a practical support system for the arches. And at only $80,000 a pair, why haven't you applied to Cal Maritime yet? As I continued to think back on my unique experiences here in Vallejo, I thought of some people who made these 4 years worthwhile. So to you, an ode. To the cadets who braced the morning formations together at 7 a.m., huddling like little frigid penguins in the Antarctic, may your black socks forever stay unmatched, and may the toes on your shoes remain scuffed from shuffling back up those metal stairs groggily to bed. An ode to you. To the cadets who thought taking that Chinese class would be so much easier than Spanish. Or to those engineers who've sat next to me in my English class, I praise you for your optimism, pat you on the back for the valid effort. Thank God D's get degrees. ode to you. To the cadets who embarked on their summer journeys, may we remember the fond memories and may we repress all the other ones until years from now when you're explaining to your shrink, it all began. I feel for those who slept in lower berthing their freshman year on summer cruises. I remember once during a horrible rainstorm playing a riveting game of hide-and-go-seek up in upper res in the dorm rooms, and not one to lose a game of hide-and-go-seek. I hid in the cramped, tiny closet in my room and thought to myself, in that cold, dark space, this is what cruise must be like. An ode to you. To the cadets who got through mates, finished their senior projects, and wrote that 40-page thesis. Is it any mystery why sailors drink? An ode to you. To the teachers who put up with us, you deserve the standing ovation. You are the backbone of our success, and without your help, I don't know if we'd all be sitting here. If you have a teacher who fits this description, can you please give them a round of applause really quick? Thank you for your endless patience throughout this entire process. You and my parents both have that quality that I can only dream of. An ode to you. To the commandants of our school, thank you for your honesty. Not even my best friends tell me when I'm having the worst hair day of my life or when I just kind of look like crap. So thank you for stepping in and assuming that role. We appreciate you. An ode to you. To the staff and hardworking individuals who keep this school together, thank you. To Mom for keeping our bellies full and our blood sugar high. To the members of the Student Health Center and Nurse Chris, because the flu almost spreads quicker through the school than the rumors do. An ode to you. To our parents who endured our phone calls begging for advice or maybe just a care package full of real digestible food. Hey, I said Mom's was good. We're solid. To the parents who pushed us out of their minivans at O Week or post those embarrassing Facebook photos about how we're all gonna be ship captains the day we graduate. Mom, for the record, I'm global studies and I don't do that. Thank you for never giving up on us and for the relentless love and support you never fail to show. An ode to you. Finally, to my friends graduating, may the road rise to meet you and may the wind always be at your back. Look to your left and right at the friends you've made here, as we all go out in this world to do big, great things. Never forget all the people who got you there. Never lose track of who you are when you leave here today, because the lessons you've learned and the relationship you've made will help you for a very long time. Cal Maritime has gifted us with irreplaceable experiences, opportunities, and leadership to show the world. I have never felt more confident in the future of our industry than I do standing here before all my fellow classmates today. With that, let's set sail, class of 2016, an ode to you.
Thank you, Chrissy. Let's give her another round. So, Chrissy, I'm not done. I do want to speak on behalf of the entire Cal Maritime community and say thank you. Those are very thoughtful words. Well, at least most of them. But I do want to add that that's the kind of spirit that represented our university so well in Washington, D.C. when you went there for the Panetta Institute. So good on you and congratulations. We're very proud. It is now my distinct pleasure and high honor to present our commencement speaker, Rear Admiral Thomas Shannon, Commander, Military Sealift Command. As you'll note in your program, Admiral Shannon graduated from Maritime Academy. I'm sorry, Maine Maritime Academy, our sister academy, in 1982. with a Bachelor of Science in Nautical Science and was commissioned through the Naval Reserve Officer Training Corps program. He attended the Naval War College and received a Master of Arts degree in National Security and Strategic Studies in March 1998. Admiral Shannon served afloat in USS Jack Williams, USS Nicholson, USS Boone, and as Chief Staff Officer in Destroyer Squadron 14 and Surface Operations Officer in Cruiser Destroyer Group 12. He served in a number of challenging command assignments, first as Commanding Officer of USS DeWert from 1999 to 2001, then as Commanding Officer of USS Vicksburg and Air Defense Commander for the John F. Kennedy Battle Group from 2004 to 2006, and later as Commander of Carrier Strike Group 1 from 2011 to 2013. Ashore, Admiral Shannon served in a variety of assignments, including duty as Assistant Professor of Naval Science at the University of Texas, Section Head on the Navy Staff, Executive Assistant to the Director of Navy Surface Warfare, the Pacific Command Division Chief on the Joint Chiefs Staff, service in the Office of the Secretary of Defense, and Pacific Fleet Deputy for Operations, Training, and Readiness. Today, he serves our nation as the commander of the world's greatest ocean-going supply chain enabler, our Military Sealift Command, or MSC for short. MSC is our university's largest employer, our strongest advocate, and one of our most loyal partners. MSC is also the fleet train that delivers American forces with the things they need to carry out the nation's bidding. Whenever and wherever there is an international emergency, natural disaster, or large-scale humanitarian response, you can be sure, very sure, that the men and women of the Military Sealift Command are plowing through the oceans headed in the direction of trouble. That's what great mariners do, and that is why I ask you to join me in offering a rousing welcome to their leader, Rear Admiral T.K. Shannon.
Following Christy. That's pressure. Thanks for that setup there, Admiral Cropper. And Carl, you also hit it out of the park. Although I'll tell you, I'm not going to sing to you like Carl tried to. President Cropper recognized the many distinguished guests and very important persons in the audience. So in the interest of time, if you would please indulge me, I'll declare that all previously issued greetings and salutations will remain in effect. I just gave you back 5 minutes of your life. So, President Cropper, faculty and administrators, family and friends, and most importantly, Cal Maritime, class of 2016. Good afternoon, and thank you for this opportunity to speak at this very important occasion. It's an honor for me to share in this momentous event with you. Let me acknowledge up front that I am keenly aware that the only thing that separates you from receiving your well-earned degree and commencing a much-deserved celebration are my remarks. So with that in mind, I'll try to stick to the adage, in the great words of Carl, be brief, be brilliant, and be gone. As I prepared my remarks, I was talking with my wife, Christy. We reminisced about my humble beginnings 34 years ago at Maine Maritime Academy. And we talked about, at that time, again, 3.5 decades ago, I was a midshipman just beginning my career. And I said to Christy, can you imagine, in your wildest dreams, that I would ever be on this stage in the company of such distinguished guests, giving the commencement address to the graduating class at Cal Maritime? She paused, she looked at me and she said, dear, to be very truthful with you, you're not really in my wildest dreams. Makes you wonder she didn't come on this trip with me either. Now, in my capacity as commander of Military Sea Lift Command, I visit many ships every year. In fact, if I stopped and counted, I've probably been on 20 in the last 30 days. I encounter Cal Maritime graduates around the globe, afloat and ashore. And I can tell you, to a man and woman, they do a great job for our country and for Military Sea Lift Command. They are true leaders, they're passionate about their work, and they are focused on our mission each and every day. Let there be no doubt, you have a very impressive reputation and legacy here at Cal Maritime, and it is now your turn to go out there and sustain that great reputation. I was born just down the road here in Walnut Creek, California. And I lived for the first few years of my life in Orinda, also just down the road. Life took some interesting turns, and somehow I found myself attending Maine Maritime Academy. But that wasn't supposed to be funny. But thank you. I feel like you put me up on that plateau with Christy. But it's great to be back here at Cal Maritime Academy. I think it's my third visit in my current capacity, and I enjoyed a nice walk around the campus this morning and getting to meet and greet many of you. As a Maine Maritime Academy graduate, my visits here give me great pause, though, and it makes me wonder if I made that right decision some 38 years ago when I was a midshipman, 4th class. For those of you who don't know, Maine Maritime is one of our other 6 state maritime academies located in a town called Castine, Maine. Okay, a little perspective here. Castine has a population of 1,366 people, and that includes the 950 students. The town doesn't even have one stoplight. The average temperature in the winter is 24 degrees. We didn't have schools when I went to, we didn't have cars when I went to college. So for fun on the weekends, we would just stand around a bonfire on a freezing winter night while you, here at Cal Maritime, were trying to decide which of the many burrito trucks to hit in Vallejo. So I admire your decision to attend this Maritime Academy for your education. Cal Maritime is a gem, surrounded by near paradise here in the Bay Area. Just your decision to attend this university speaks highly of your maturity, foresight, and decision-making abilities. While I'm not sure if I can even remember who the guest speaker was at my commencement, I can say with certainty that I don't remember a thing he said. Frankly, I was just happy to get a seat in the auditorium. But I bet he said something like this: put your best foot forward and don't look back. Treat others like you would like to be treated. Luck is not to come knocking at your door. You have to go out there and make your own luck. These sayings are true. They're valuable and even inspiring to some. In fact, I could end my talk here and feel like you just received your money's worth of advice, making this the shortest commencement address on record. But I have a couple of thoughts I want to share with you. Our United States is a seafaring nation. Our maritime industry has contributed to the growth and development of our nation, and it will continue to be an engine of growth in the future. And from the military perspective, I can tell you it is those people, military and civilian, involved in maritime operations who literally carry our nation to war when called upon to do so. Soon, you will share in the significant responsibilities that come with careers and service in our maritime industry. As Commander, Military Sea Lift Command, I'm the largest employer of mariners in our United States. We already have 37 members of this graduating class coming to work for us, and I welcome you to our Military Sea Lift Command family. I spend much of my time discussing the trends with the Maritime Administration, industry executives, and labor union leaders. Yes, our industry is going through significant change right now. Some might even say a contraction or a disruption. But let me put your mind at ease. You have made a great career choice. Going to work in our maritime industry, whether as a licensed officer, a maritime transportation specialist, or in maritime business affairs, is serving our nation and investing in our country's future. Even if you choose to work outside of the maritime industry, you will bring to the table a very highly valued skill set. I know many of you have lined up jobs or you're closing in on job options. The placement rate for this institution, like all of our maritime academies, is very impressive. This is yet another indicator of your well-rounded skills and abilities. But you're entering an industry very different from that which greeted graduates just 10 years ago. As an example, we have recent graduates who went to work in the oil patch for a year or two, then moved on to an oil tanker or a cargo ship, and are now working with Military Sea Lift Command. We're seeing more and more of this type of change in a career path. I use that example to say that things are truly dynamic in our industry. Throughout your career, you will encounter colleagues who are going to resist change, fear change, and actively work against change. But working outside your comfort zone is the place you need to be. Get comfortable with working in a changing environment. If you enter our workforce embracing change and figuring out how to be effective in this environment, you will be well positioned for personal and professional success. A few examples of this changing landscape. You will continue to see more automated and soon nearly autonomous ships. Imagine piloting a ship on the other side of the world from a location here on the West Coast. Our United States Air Force today is flying drones in the Middle East from bases thousands of miles away in Nevada. And just last month, a major shipping company completed the first drone delivery to a vessel at sea, testing the possibilities for supply chain management. Think of the implications of that, and yet think of all the opportunities that it may bring. It is not an overstatement to say a revolution is taking place in our industries, and you will have an opportunity to shape it, to lead it, and to be an integral part of it. Seek opportunities to be a part of that revolution and align yourself with people and organizations that embrace that change. Let me shift gears and leave you with another thought. If you don't remember anything else I say, perhaps this one nugget might be worth remembering. I'm not the author of this thought, but I think it's profound. It goes something like this. People will not remember what you said to them, but they will remember how you made them feel. One more time. People will not remember what you said to them, but they will remember how you made them feel. How true that is. This is really a universal message, and it's worth considering as you begin your career. Think back to some time in your recent past, a family member, a teacher, a friend, a mentor, a coach, did something to help you succeed. They saw potential in you. They made you feel good about yourself, instilled in you confidence, and helped you on the path to success. I'll share a personal experience with you. At the end of my sophomore year at Maine Maritime Academy, I went cadet shipping on a container ship for 3 months. I absolutely loved cadet shipping. I found it was this romantic, love of my life type profession. I was watching third mates make a heck of a lot of money. I loved everything about it. I knew that Merchant Marine was exactly where I wanted to be. So I returned to campus, and on the very first day of my junior year, I smartly marched into the ROTC office, and I quit the program. I had done the Navy destroyer training cruise, and I had done my cadet shipping assignment. I compared the two, and in my mind, it was a no-brainer. I was going Merchant Marine all the way. I was done with ROTC, and I was ready to move on with my life. For a number of reasons at the time, our Merchant Marine job market began to rapidly dry up. So much so that on my graduation day, when I was sitting where you were sitting, of those obtaining deck licenses, there were 50 of us. Only 2 had jobs the day we graduated in the Merchant Marine. Now here's where my story gets interesting and accounts for why I stand in front of you today as a Rear Admiral in our United States Navy with 34 years of service commanding Military Sealift Command. A Navy lieutenant whose name was Rick Knock was one of my ROTC instructors. And on a very cold winter day in my junior year, Rick Knock literally chased me down on the streets of Castine, Maine. And he encouraged me to come back and to rejoin the ROTC program. He said, if you stay on the Merchant Marine path, yes, you'll perhaps get a job when you graduate. It'll probably be as an able-bodied seaman or some other unlicensed position, and you'll probably have to wait or 2 until you can get a licensed officer position because the job market has really dried up. But Rick said, but we like you, and we see something in you. Why don't you come back to ROTC and we'll sign you back into the program, he said. I thought about it for 10 minutes, and then I went right back into the ROTC commander's office that afternoon, and I signed back into the program that very day. Lieutenant Rick Knock had nothing to gain by pulling me back into ROTC. He had no quota to fill, and in fact, he was getting ready to leave the Navy himself, and he soon did a few months later. But he saw something in me. He cared. He made me feel as though I had value, that I could contribute. He instilled confidence in me. He took action. That day, Rick Knock made a profound difference in the course of my life as I stand before you with 34 years of service in our Navy. I remember how he made me feel. I'd ask that you consider this idea as you begin your professional career. Think about the people component of your personal and professional life, knowing that how we treat one another, how we make each other feel, how we might elevate each other so that we might reach our full potential can make all the difference in the world. And to the parents and other family members of these fine men and women who will graduate today, this is an important day for you also. And while I suspect some of you may have thought this day would never arrive, it is finally here. So moms and dads and guardians, savor this moment. Now is that opportunity. You can empty out all those closets full of old action figures and grade school trophies, hold a garage sale and make some coin on eBay, and turn their bedrooms into that office or man cave or craft room that you always wanted. For the first time in 22 years, go on vacation alone. Soon your son or daughter or loved one will have diploma in hand and will begin making their way in the world. I congratulate you for all you have done to bring them to this point. You spent the better part of 2 decades caring for, teaching, disciplining, engaging, training, mentoring, and loving these graduates. We are grateful for your sacrifice. You have done your duty, and you have done it well. And graduates, as you leave here today, please think of your parents, your guardians, your families, and your friends. Their sacrifices, many of which you will never know of, enabled you to be here today. And you may soon come to realize, in the words